The phone rang at 11:47 p.m., which is never good. Hotel phones don't ring that late unless someone died or the building's on fire. I was 3 minibar whiskeys deep, watching some cooking show with the sound off, wondering why I'd agreed to this overnight conference in the first place. "Mr. Brennan?" The voice on the other end was tight, like someone trying to hold a door shut against a strong wind. "This is David, the night manager. I'm calling from the front desk." "Yeah?" I muted the TV. A chef was setting something on fire. Seemed appropriate. "Sir, there's been a mistake. I need to inform you that your wife checked in yesterday, with another man." I laughed. Actually laughed. "That's adorable, David. But my wife's at home with the kids. They're probably all asleep by now." Silence. Then, "Sir, I really think you should come down to the lobby." "You've got the wrong—" "Sir." His voice cracked like a teenager's. "Please. They're in the bar right now." I looked at the minibar, at the $8 peanuts and the $40 almonds, and decided this was already going to be an expensive night. "I'll be down in 5. I threw on jeans and a sweater that smelled like airplane. My phone showed 3 texts from Emma, all time-stamped before 9 p.m. "Kids are down. Locking up." And a photo of our son's math homework with a red star on it. Normal. Everything normal. Find My showed her at home, right where she should be. I pulled up the kids' tablet, the one we use as a baby monitor sometimes. It showed their room, dark, the glow of the nightlight shaped like a turtle. Someone small was breathing under a blanket. I texted Emma. "You up?" The read receipt popped up immediately. Then, nothing. Just those 3 little dots that appear and disappear like a pulse. I waited 30 seconds. Nothing. The dots appeared again, then vanished. I grabbed my keycard and headed for the elevator. The Harborview Inn wasn't the kind of place where things like this happened. It was all reclaimed wood and Edison bulbs. The elevator played jazz so smooth it could have been elevator music's elevator music. David was waiting by the front desk, a thin guy in his 20s with the kind of beard that looked like it was always 3 days from becoming intentional. His name tag was crooked. He kept touching it like a nervous tick. "Mr. Brennan, I'm so sorry about this. I wouldn't have called, but the system flagged it, and I thought, show me." He glanced toward the bar, which was separated from the lobby by a wall of frosted glass panels with geometric cutouts. Through one of the diamond-shaped holes, I could see a slice of the room. Dark leather chairs, a zinc countertop that probably cost more than my car, low amber lighting that made everyone look like they were in a whiskey commercial. "I can't just point them out," David said. "That would be unprofessional?" "Illegal, actually. Privacy laws." I leaned against the desk. "So you call me down here to tell me my wife's cheating on me, but you can't show me because of privacy laws?" "I didn't say she was cheating. I said there was a mistake." "Right, a mistake, where 2 people with the same last name and similar credit cards just happened to—" "They used her maiden name," David said quietly, "on the reservation." That stopped me cold. Emma's maiden name was Keller. She hadn't used it in 8 years, not since we got married at that barn in Vermont, with the string lights and the guy who played acoustic guitar so badly it became charming. She'd changed everything: license, passport, credit cards, work email. I'd helped her fill out the forms. "You're sure?" He nodded, then did that thing where he touched his name tag again. "Room 412. Checked in yesterday at 4:18 p.m. Charged room service last night. 2 entrees, a bottle of wine, breakfast this morning for 2. "And you didn't think to call me yesterday?" "The system only flagged it an hour ago when I ran the audit. We cross-reference guest names for situations like this." "Situations like what?" He lowered his voice. "Divorce cases, insurance fraud, people using stolen cards." "So which one is this?" "I don't know, sir. That's why I called you." Through the frosted glass, I could see shadows moving. A woman's laugh cut through the jazz, bright and sharp. I didn't recognize it, but then again, I'd heard Emma laugh plenty of ways I didn't recognize anymore. The way she laughed on work calls, the way she laughed at her sister's jokes, but not mine. "I need to see the bar," I said. "I can't let you—" "I'm not going to make a scene. I'm going to order a drink like a normal person and sit quietly." David looked at me the way a bomb tech looks at a wire. "Sir, maybe you should call her first. Verify she's actually—" "I did. She read my text and didn't answer." His face changed. That sealed it for both of us. "Okay," he said finally. "But if anything happens, I never saw you come down here." "Nothing's going to happen." I walked toward the bar, my heart doing that thing where it beats in your throat instead of your chest. The frosted glass doors swung open silently, the kind of expensive hinges that don't squeak or announce you. The bar was half empty, a couple in the corner doing that thing where they lean in close and whisper. A businessman at the counter scrolling through his phone with one hand, holding a rocks glass with the other. A woman at a high-top table near the window, her back to me, dark hair pulled into a low ponytail. And on the bar stool in the middle, right under one of those Edison bulbs, was a purse. Black leather, gold monogram hardware. The kind of bag that costs more than it should and somehow looks worse for it. EK. Emma Keller. Before we go any further, hit the hype button, take a second to subscribe, and like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And tell us in the comments, what would you do in this situation? She'd kept that purse from before we were married, said it was good luck, said it reminded her of who she was before she became someone's wife, someone's mother. I used to think that was romantic. Now it just felt like evidence. I scanned the room. No Emma. But sitting 2 stools down from the purse, laughing at something the bartender said, was a guy I recognized. Tall, early 30s, wearing a charcoal Henley that fit the way clothes fit in catalogs. The kind of guy who looked like he did CrossFit and talked about it just enough to be annoying, but not enough to be obvious. He had that aggressively groomed look. Beard trimmed to the millimeter, hair pushed back with something matte and expensive, watch that caught the light every time he lifted his glass. I knew him. Not well, but I knew him. His name was Travis something, Travis Holt. We'd met at Emma's office holiday party last year. He worked with her at the mill renovation project, some kind of contractor. He'd spent 20 minutes talking to me about reclaimed brick and load-bearing beams while I nodded and thought about the wings. He was funny. I remembered that. He made a joke about OSHA regulations that actually landed. Emma had laughed. Now he was here. At this hotel, at this bar, 2 stools away from my wife's purse. I sat down at the far end of the bar, far enough that he wouldn't notice, close enough to hear. The bartender, a woman with a sleeve tattoo and a name tag that said Jade, drifted over. "What can I get you?" "Bourbon." "Neat." She poured it without asking which kind. It was the expensive kind, the kind that tastes like smoke and caramel and regret. Travis was laughing again. The bartender laughed too. He had that energy, the kind that pulls people in, makes them feel like they're part of something. "I'm telling you, Jade," he said, his voice just loud enough to carry. "The trick is to always look like you know what you're doing, even when you have no idea, especially then." "That how you got into contracting?" Jade asked. "That's how I got into everything." He tapped his card on the bar. "Put hers on there, too, wherever she is." Jade glanced at the purse. She went to the restroom. Of course she did. Women and their bladders. It's like a part-time job. I gripped my glass hard enough to feel the edges cut into my palm. Jade swiped his card. It was one of those heavy metal ones, matte black with a logo embossed on it. I couldn't read it from where I was, but I saw the shape, a building with scaffolding. The Mill Renovation Company logo. Emma's company logo. Jade handed the card back. "You two have a good night." "We will," Travis said. "We absolutely will." He pulled out his phone, tapped something, then set it down. The screen lit up with a notification. I couldn't see what it said, but I saw the contact name at the top. E. My hand was shaking. I set the glass down before I dropped it. Jade came back over. "You good?" "Yeah, fine. Just long day?" She gave me a look that said she'd seen 100 guys like me sit at this bar and lie about being fine. "Let me know if you need anything." "Actually," I said, "do you know him? The guy in the Henley?" She glanced over. "Travis?" "Yeah, he's in here a lot." "Tips well. Why?" "Just curious." "He's harmless," she said. "Talks a big game. But he's a sweetheart." "Good to know." I finished my bourbon, dropped a 20 on the bar, stood up slowly like a man with all the time in the world. As I walked past Travis's seat, I made sure to brush the purse with my elbow. It tipped, spilling halfway off the stool. "Shit, sorry," I said, catching it. Travis looked over. "No worries, man. Happens." I set the purse upright, looked at the monogram, looked at him. He smiled. "Not mine. Girlfriend's." "Lucky guy," I said. "Yeah, I am." I walked out of the bar and kept walking until I hit the side exit that led to the parking lot. The cold air hit me like a slap. I stood there, breathing fog, watching my reflection in the glass doors. Behind me, David appeared. "Sir, I saw her purse," I said. "I saw him." "Do you want me to?" "No." I turned around. "I want you to give me a receipt. For their room. Any room service, any charges, everything." "I can't—" "David." I stepped closer. "If I walk back into that bar right now, I'm going to do something we both regret. Or you can help me, and I'll handle this quietly." He looked at me for a long time. Then he pulled out his phone, tapped something, and handed it to me. It was a scanned receipt. Room 4-12, 2 orders of steak frites, a bottle of Malbec, chocolate lava cake for 2, charged yesterday at 9:47 p.m. Under the name Keller. I handed the phone back. Thank you, I said. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. That was a lie. I already knew exactly what I was going to do. I just hadn't decided how far I was going to take it. I didn't go back to my room. I sat in my car in the parking lot, engine off, hands on the steering wheel, staring at the hotel like it was a puzzle I could solve if I just looked at it long enough. The receipt was still on my phone. I'd taken a photo of David's screen before handing it back. 2 steak frites, 1 Malbec, chocolate lava cake for 2. Emma hated chocolate lava cake. Said it was too rich, too much, too trying hard. We'd had it at our wedding, her choice, and she didn't finish her slice. I ate both. But maybe that was before. Maybe she liked it now. Maybe she liked a lot of things now that I didn't know about. I opened Find My again. Her little circle was still at home, glowing blue and steady. I zoomed in. The pin dropped right on our house, right on our bedroom. I called the kid's tablet again. Same view. Dark room, turtle nightlight, small lump under blanket. But no Emma. I called her. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. Her voice, bright and professional. Hi, you've reached Emma Brennan. I can't come to the phone right now, but leave a message and I'll get back to you. I didn't leave a message. I texted instead. Call me when you get this. The red receipt popped up. 12:14 a.m. No reply. I sat there for another 10 minutes, watching the side entrance of the hotel. A couple came out, laughing, holding hands. A taxi pulled up. A man in a suit got out, dragging a rolling suitcase behind him. Then the doors opened again, and I saw her. Not Emma, someone else. A woman in a long coat, heels clicking on the pavement. She had dark hair like Emma's, pulled back the same way. But when she turned toward the parking lot, I saw her face. Not Emma. Relief and disappointment hit me at the same time, a 1-2 punch that left me dizzy. I got out of the car. The hotel's side entrance was still unlocked, the kind of place that trusted its guests not to wander. I went back inside, past the elevator, past the front desk where David was helping a couple check in. He saw me and his face went pale, but I shook my head and kept walking. I took the stairs instead of the elevator. 4 floors. My knee clicked on the 3rd landing, the one I'd hurt playing basketball in college. Emma used to tape it for me before long runs. Used to. 4th floor. Room 412 was at the end of the hall, past the ice machine and the vending area. The carpet was thick and geometric, the kind that hides stains. The hallway smelled like lavender and chlorine. I stood outside the door, no sound, no light under the gap. I knocked, soft, 3 times, nothing. I knocked again, harder, still nothing. I pulled out my phone and called Emma again. It rang, once, twice. Then, from inside the room, I heard it. Faint. A phone vibrating on a hard surface. 3rd ring, 4th. Then it stopped. Voicemail again. Someone was inside. Someone who saw my name on the screen and decided not to answer. I knocked again. Emma. Nothing. Emma, I know you're in there. Open the door. Silence. I pressed my ear to the door. I could hear something. A voice, low, male, then a shushing sound. I knocked harder. Emma! A door opened behind me. An older woman in a hotel robe poked her head out. Excuse me, some of us are trying to sleep. Sorry, I said. Wrong room. She glared at me and shut her door with a pointed click. I stood there for another minute, my hand on the door, feeling the wood under my palm, solid and indifferent. Then I turned and walked back to the stairwell. On the 2nd floor landing, I stopped, pulled out my phone, called my sister-in-law. Rachel answered on the 1st ring. Is Emma at your place? Pause. What? No, why would she be here? She's not at home. Then where is she? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Another pause, longer this time. Nathan, what's going on? I told her, all of it. The call, the purse, the receipt, the room, the vibrating phone. When I finished, Rachel was quiet for a long time. Rach? I'm here. I'm just processing. Do you know anything? Has she said anything to you? No. I mean, not really. She's been busy with work. That project at the mill. She's been staying late a lot. How late? I don't know. Late. She borrowed a dress from me last week for some client dinner. Said she needed something nicer than her usual stuff. What dress? The black one. The Reformation one. With the slit. I knew that dress. Rachel had laughed and said that was the point. When was this? I asked. Last Tuesday. She picked it up in the morning, dropped it off Thursday, said the dinner went well. Did she say who was there? Some contractor guy, Travis somebody. She said he was full of himself, but good at his job. My stomach dropped. Travis Holt. Yeah, that sounds right. Why? He's here, at the hotel, with her purse sitting 2 stools away from him at the bar. Rachel swore, loudly. That son of a... I need you to do something for me. Anything. Call Emma, right now. Tell her you need to talk. Something urgent. Sister stuff. See if she answers. On it. She hung up. I waited. 2 minutes later, she called back. She didn't pick up, Rachel said. Sent me to voicemail. Did you leave a message? Yeah. I said it was about Mom's birthday and I needed her opinion on something. If she was really at home, she'd call me back in 5 minutes. You know how she is about planning. And if she doesn't? Then we know. Thanks, Rach. Nathan, listen to me. If this is what it looks like, if she's really doing this, you need to be smart. Don't do anything stupid. Define stupid. Anything that ends with you in jail or on the news. I'm not going to touch him. Good, because men like that, they're not worth it. Trust me. Rachel had dated a Travis once, a Dylan, a Brad. They all blurred together after a while. Guys with white teeth and firm handshakes and LinkedIn profiles that made them sound like they'd invented fire. She'd learned the hard way that charm was just salesmanship with better lighting. I hung up and walked back to the lobby. David was alone at the desk now, typing something into the computer with the desperate focus of someone trying to look busy. She didn't answer, I said. He looked up. What? The door. I knocked. She didn't answer, but her phone was inside. I heard it. He closed his eyes. Sir, you can't just go knocking on guests' doors. I need to see the security footage. Absolutely not. David, no, I could lose my job. I've already told you too much. I leaned on the desk, close enough that he had to look at me. I'm not asking you to do anything illegal. I'm asking you to let me see the footage from the lobby, from last night. That's it. Public space. No privacy violation. It's still... I'll file a formal complaint if you don't. I'll say my credit card was compromised. I'll say someone used my wife's identity to book a room. You'll have to pull the footage anyway for the investigation. His jaw tightened. You're bluffing. Try me. We stared at each other for 10 seconds. Then he sighed, hard, like a tire deflating. 5 minutes, he said. That's it. And if anyone asks, I'm showing you the footage because of a billing dispute. Fine. He led me behind the desk, into a small office that smelled like burnt coffee and air freshener. There was a computer monitor on the desk, split into 4 camera feeds. Lobby, parking lot, side entrance, back hallway. David sat down and pulled up the footage archive. What time? Yesterday, between 4 and 6 p.m. He clicked through files. The screen flickered, then settled on a grainy black and white view of the lobby from yesterday afternoon. 4:18 p.m., a couple walked in, dragging suitcases. A man in a blazer followed. 4:31 p.m., a family with 3 kids, all of them talking at once. 4:47 p.m., a woman. Alone, dark hair, long coat. Stop, I said. David froze the frame. She was facing away from the camera, but I could see her profile when she turned to talk to the front desk clerk. Dark hair pulled back. The coat I'd bought her for her birthday 2 years ago. The one with the oversized collar she said made her feel like a spy. Emma. That's her, I said. David didn't say anything. 4:49 p.m. She stepped away from the desk, heading toward the elevator. 4:52 p.m. A man walked in. Tall, charcoal Henley, beard, Travis Holt. He went straight to the elevator, pressed the button, stood there checking his phone. The elevator opened. He stepped inside. But just before the doors closed, Emma appeared from around the corner. She said something to him. He smiled, held the doors. She stepped inside. The doors closed. Show me the hallway camera, I said. 4th floor. There isn't one. What? We don't have cameras in the guest hallways, privacy laws. But you have one in the back hallway. You showed me that feed. He hesitated. That's the service hallway, employees only. Show me. He switched feeds. The service hallway was narrow, lit by overhead fluorescents, lined with supply closets and a door marked staff only. David scrolled forward. 9:42 p.m. The door opened. Emma stepped through, carrying 2 wine glasses. She looked left, then right, then walked out of frame. Where does that lead? I asked. The guest elevators, east wing. 4th floor? He nodded. Go back. Show me earlier. He scrolled backward. 8:14 p.m. Travis appeared, carrying a room service tray. He propped the door open with his foot, said something over his shoulder, then walked through. Emma followed, laughing, holding a bottle of wine. They disappeared into the hallway together. I watched the empty frame for a long time. David cleared his throat. Sir, Can you print this? What? Can you print a screenshot of them together? I don't think you can. You just don't want to. He looked at me, then at the screen, then at his hands. If I do this, he said quietly, you never got it from me, understand? Understood. He clicked something. The printer in the corner hummed to life, spitting out a single black and white page. Emma and Travis, side by side, laughing. I folded it and put it in my pocket. Thank you, I said. Don't thank me. I just ended my career. No, you didn't, because I was never here. I walked out of the office, through the lobby, past the frosted glass doors of the bar. Travis was still there, scrolling through his phone, his metal card sitting on the bar like a trophy. I thought about walking back in. I thought about a lot of things. Instead, I went outside, got in my car, and drove home. The house was dark when I pulled into the driveway. Emma's car wasn't there. Find My Still showed her inside, a glowing blue lie. I unlocked the front door and went upstairs. The kids were asleep. The turtle nightlight was on. Everything was exactly where it should be, except for the one thing that mattered. On the kitchen counter, I found a note. Took the car to get it washed. Back by morning. E. Her handwriting, her pen. I crumpled the note and threw it in the trash. Then I poured myself a drink, sat at the kitchen table, and pulled out the folded printout. Emma and Travis, laughing, I smoothed it flat. And I started making a list. I drove to the office on autopilot, my brain stuck on a loop of the same 3 images. Emma and Travis in the hallway, Travis's handwritten note, and that text from the unknown number about the parking garage. Paul's words kept echoing. Once you start looking, you can't unsee it. I was way past that point. The logistics company where I worked was the kind of place where people wore business casual and pretended to care about quarterly targets. My cubicle was on the 3rd floor, wedged between a guy who ate tuna sandwiches every day and a woman who took personal calls on speakerphone. I sat down, logged in, opened my email. Nothing important. A meeting reminder, an invoice approval request, a company-wide memo about the new coffee machine in the break room. I closed my email and opened a private browser window. First search, Millstone Renovations client events. 3 pages of results, press releases, social media posts, a few local news articles about their projects. One article from the Harborview Inn's website caught my eye. Millstone Renovations hosts client mixer at the Harborview. The date? 3 weeks ago. The same night Travis had posted that photo. I clicked through. There was a gallery of photos from the event. 20 images. Groups of people in suits and cocktail dresses, speeches, handshakes, wine glasses. Image 14. Travis standing next to a woman with dark hair. Her face was turned away from the camera, but I knew the posture. The way she held her wine glass with both hands. Emma. I downloaded the photo. Zoomed in. Looked at the background. There was a table in the corner with name tags and printed schedules. I zoomed further. The text was blurry, but I could make out a few names. Travis Holt, Emma Brennan, her work name, her public name. I kept searching. Second search. Millstone Renovations Harborview Inn project timeline. More results. Building permits. City planning documents. An environmental impact report. I opened the permit records. They were public, hosted on the city's website, searchable by property address. The Harborview Inn was listed. So was the mill. Both projects had the same lead contractor, Travis Holt. Both projects had the same project manager, Emma Brennan. I cross-referenced the permit dates with Emma's calendar. She'd synced her work calendar to our shared family account so I could see when she'd be late for dinner or miss the kids' games. 4 late nights in the past month, all on the same nights as site inspections listed in the permit records. I saved everything to a folder on my desktop. Labeled it Research. Then I opened Instagram again. Travis's profile was still public. I didn't have to log in to see his posts. I scrolled through his stories. The 24-hour ones had expired, but he'd saved a few highlights. One was labeled Projects. Another was labeled Team. I clicked Team, a dozen photos, construction crews, co-workers, a group shot at a bar. And there, in the 3rd photo, was Emma. She was standing next to Travis, holding a beer, smiling at the camera. The caption, "Best team in the business." The timestamp? 2 months ago. I saved it. I went back to Paul's instructions. Reverse image search. I uploaded the photo of Emma and Travis from the team highlight. Google found 3 matches. One was Travis's Instagram, one was a Facebook post from another coworker, one was a LinkedIn article about Millstone Renovation's latest project. I clicked the LinkedIn article. It was written by someone named Jenna Park, the company's marketing director. The article talked about teamwork, innovation, company culture. At the bottom, there was a photo gallery. 12 images. I scrolled through them. Image 9. Emma and Travis standing in front of the mill, holding hard hats, smiling. Image 11. The 2 of them at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Travis's hand was on Emma's shoulder. I stared at that one for a long time. Then I checked the metadata. The photo was taken 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks. I closed the browser, stood up, walked to the break room and poured myself a cup of coffee I didn't want. Paul was there, microwaving something that smelled like curry. "Hey," he said. "You good?" "Yeah." "You don't look good." "I'm fine." He pulled his food out of the microwave and leaned against the counter. "Find anything useful?" "Too much." "You want to talk about it?" "Not here." "Fair." He took a bite. "You know what you're going to do yet?" "No." That was a lie. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I just didn't want to say it out loud. I went back to my desk, opened my phone, scrolled to the unknown number. I typed, "When did you see him at the garage?" Dates and times. The response came fast. "Last Thursday, around midnight, and the Thursday before that, same time." "How do you know it was him?" "Because I live nearby. I walk my dog late. I pay attention." "Who are you?" "Does it matter?" I thought about that. "No." "Then stop asking. Just trust me." Another message appeared. "He's there every Thursday, like clockwork. If you want proof, go see for yourself." I looked at my calendar. Today was Tuesday. 2 days. I could wait 2 days. I spent the rest of the afternoon going through everything I'd found. The photos, the permits, the event registrations, the timeline. I made a spreadsheet, dates on one axis, events on the other. Emma's schedule overlaid on top. Every late night matched. Every single one. By 5 p.m., I had a clear picture. Emma had been lying for at least 2 months, maybe longer. And Travis? He'd been posting about it. Publicly. Like he didn't care who saw. Or maybe he did care. Maybe that was the point. I saved everything to a flash drive, put it in my desk drawer, locked it. Then I drove home. Emma's car was in the driveway. Lights were on in the kitchen. I sat in my car for a minute, staring at the house. Our house. The one we'd bought together 5 years ago. The one with the crooked mailbox and the fence that needed painting. I thought about walking in there and confronting her, putting the flash drive on the table and making her explain every single lie. But that wasn't the right move. Not yet. I needed more. I needed something she couldn't explain away. I needed to catch them together. I got out of the car and went inside. Emma was at the stove, stirring something in a pot. The kids were at the table, doing homework. "Hey," she said when she saw me. Her voice was light. Normal. "How was work?" "Fine. You?" "Busy. We're finalizing the mill project. It's been a lot." "I bet," she smiled. "Dinner's almost ready. Pasta, your favorite." "Great." I kissed the kids on their heads, sat down at the table, helped my daughter with her math homework while my son complained about his spelling words. Emma served dinner. We ate. We talked about school projects and weekend plans and whether we needed to replace the dishwasher. It was so normal, it made my chest hurt. After dinner, I helped with baths and bedtime stories, tucked the kids in, turned off the lights. When I came back downstairs, Emma was loading the dishwasher. "Nathan," she said without looking at me. "About this morning. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have shut you down like that." "It's fine." "It's not fine. You had questions. I should have answered them." She closed the dishwasher and turned to face me. "The thing with Travis? It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "We were at the hotel for work. That's it. The photo you showed me? That was taken after a site visit. We went to the bar for one drink. That's all. And the room service? We ordered food to the conference room. It got charged to a room number by mistake. Under your maiden name. I used it for the reservation because my credit card was flagged for fraud. I had to use an old card that still had my maiden name on it." She said it so smoothly, so easily. I nodded. "Okay. Okay? Yeah, I believe you. Her shoulders relaxed. Thank you. I'm sorry I freaked out. It just looked bad. I know, I get it. If I'd seen something like that, I would have freaked out too. She hugged me. I hugged her back, and I felt nothing. I love you, she said. I love you too. Another lie. That night, after Emma fell asleep, I went downstairs and checked my phone. A new message from the unknown number. A photo, dark, grainy, taken from a distance, but clear enough. A black Audi parked in a garage. Level 3, southwest corner. The license plate read TRVISH. Below the photo. Thursday, midnight. See for yourself. I saved the photo, and I started counting the hours.